What's up you guys, Tomy Shaw here, and on today's video is explaining you how to get started investing in real estate. Okay, this video is for somebody who's only started, has no experience, and the goal of this video is to show you all the steps that you need to start acquiring, to make it easier for acquiring other real estate properties. Okay, so acquiring multifamily homes step by step. The first thing you need to know is what kind of investor are you? Are you a buy and hold? Are you going to flip? Are you going to go into tax lien certificates? So you need to understand that. You need to know that, because if you know what type of investor you are, you'll be able to focus on one sector of real estate. Okay? The second second thing you need to know is, what are you looking for? Are you looking for single family homes, duplex, 12plex? And there's always a sector in like single family homes or duplex, there's always a sector that's undervalued because people are looking at 4plex, or maybe people are looking at duplex, or maybe they're looking at single family homes. So there's always a sector that is undervalued, and if you can find that in your city, it'll make it easier for you to grow your business. Okay? Now, the third factor you need to know is, what are you looking for? Where are you looking for? Because you need to concentrate all your buildings. If you're going to grow your real estate portfolio, you need to focus on where you're going to grow. And there's some sectors of each cities that have a higher return. So if your goal is to have buy and hold strategies, you want to buy 4plex, and you want the maximum return to take that cash flow to grow, there's always some sectors in your city or area where the cap rate is higher. Okay? 4, what conditions, reasons are you looking to buy? Older properties, fixing it up, or are you looking to have something that is repair and maintenance free and you could manage yourself? If you're looking for older properties, your cap rate is going to be higher, and if you're looking for newer properties with less management, then your cap rate is going to be lower. So every time you're choosing to go for the easier road, your cap rate is going to be lower, and the result of that is that your business is not going to grow as fast as you want it to grow. Okay? So fifth, now we have a funnel. We know what we're looking for. You know where you're looking for. You have a funnel that will help you to look for these properties quicker, because if you don't know what you're looking for, you're just going to look at you won't know how to compare these real estate properties, because you'll be looking everywhere and comparing a single family home to a duplex to a 4plex, and they're not the same. You need to know what you're looking for your funnel to be easier. Now, seek to understand, once you find out a property that you're interested in, try to find out why the seller is selling, because he doesn't care why you're buying. What you have to understand, what are the conditions that the seller is asking? Like, does he need to sell quickly? Does he need for you to have the whole financing? Is it a capital gains tax problem? Is it expense problem? Is it a cash flow problem? Always try to listen more than you talk, because he doesn't care what you have to say, or maybe he does, because depending on if he's a motivated seller, then he's going to care what you have to say. But it's more important to understand why the seller is selling. Okay? Now, once you have all this information, you see something, you did all the numbers on the property, you have a nice cap rate, a nice NOI, you have positive cash flow, the deal makes sense. And what you need to also understand, you need to know how to do the numbers, crunch down the numbers, because if you don't know how to do the numbers, it's really hard to find out if this is a positive cash flow, negative cash flow. And what I see, a lot of investors, they don't know the numbers of their real estate. Like, what they do is they essentially only put taxes. They don't even put their management. They don't even put maintenance, repairs. You have to put all those numbers to really understand what is going inside of this business. Okay, so say you find a property that makes sense with the NOI, the cap rate, the cash flow. It's in an area you want. It's a 4plex. It's something that you're interested in. and the seller wants to sell, you understand why the seller is selling. The next step is to make an offer. Okay, you make an offer that is not greedy, because if it's greedy, you're not gonna have the building. So the goal is to think long term, in my opinion. Okay, so say you make an offer, you put conditions. You put conditions with an inspector. It has to satisfy the inspector's needs or your needs, and you put another condition, which is financing. Say it gets accepted. Okay, now you have a number of days. You could put 25 days, you could put 10 days for an inspector to come in, look at the property. Okay, the offer is accepted, but maybe the roof is due, maybe the windows are due, or maybe some stuff on the building is not at the reglementation of today's standard, and you'll need to change it for the safety of your tenants. Now the inspector comes in, say the roof is done. Okay, it's a $20,000 roof. You can negotiate. This is a second round of negotiating, because the offer you did was that the building was at today's worth. So if the roof is done, that's another $20,000. So that means if your offer was at $365,000, you can negotiate $20,000, or maybe a partial, or $15,000. Say, hey, I wasn't expecting that the roof was done. I looked at the numbers, they made sense. So I want to negotiate another $15,000. Okay, say it gets accepted. Now you're the owner. You go through the financing, you go through the deeds, you go through a notary, and you're the owner of that property. You're finally a real estate investor. The next step, how do you manage that property? Are you going to manage it yourself, or are you going to outsource it? Okay, if you do it yourself, at a certain point it's going to slow you down. It's going to be hard to grow your business, because you're not thinking as an entrepreneur, you're thinking as somebody that's doing it everything yourself. At first it's going to help you to grow quicker, but at a certain point, once you get to around 14 doors, then it slows you down, and it's better to get a manager. And the same thing with maintenance and repairs. Are you going to do it yourself? Are you going to learn that? And if you can learn that, then it gives you sweat equity to grow even faster your business. Okay, so essentially this is what you need to do to start investing in real estate. Okay, you have to start, you have to know, are you a flipper, are you a buy and hold, are you looking for tax lien certificate? Okay, so if you have any questions concerning this video, you'd like me to go into more details, I have videos that explain how to find the value of a property, how to calculate the NOI, how to calculate the cap rate, how to calculate leverage, how to calculate if it's a positive or negative leverage. So on my other videos. So that's that for this video. If you like this kind of information, like, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.